Good morning, everybody. How is everybody doing this morning? And welcome to my quiet little corner of the internet, where today, obviously, we're doing the Long Dark, as usual. What's everybody up to? Morning, Danny. How are you? Hello, Peanut. Hello, Lola. Hello, Earl. So, here's the situation. Yesterday's live stream was unusual. 8 wolves on the ice decided to make an appearance, and I won't exactly say lay siege to my position in a fishing hut, but there was obviously a glitch, and so I had what must have been 2 separate respawns in a rapid and unusual fashion, which resulted in 8 dead wolves, which fortunately it didn't cause me any particular damage, and I don't think I lost any arrows in the process either. So it ended up being a surprisingly successful little live stream. Today, of course, is the aftermath. I still need to go back and see if there's any bits remaining for me to harvest. I still need to go and collect stuff from the trader. I need to create a meat curing box, and then the wolves that contributed to my food supply find themselves stuffed into that. All of which assumes that the weather is going to cooperate, which, being the long dark, is not a guarantee. So, let's see what my situation is, shall we? Because it's a funny thing, I almost never remember exactly what situation I was in from day to day. I more or less have to find out on the fly, and obviously it's outside and it was extremely cold. Now that I do remember. Oh, it's not too bad. I might take a quick dash to have a look and see if I can see the aftermath of my little fight. There's my fur for the meat curing box. At the urging of Eugene, I have started curing my guts in the toilet. Yeah, mind you, at the urging of Eugene, I ought to have rugs on the floor, but to be honest with you, I haven't had the time. At least that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. I should also try and figure out what it is I'm carrying that makes me so heavy. Oh, I'm not Okay, not massively so at any rate. Oh, also created a new bow, just in time. Oh, and I'm carrying a bunch of torches, that won't help. This is late for you to still be at work, Danny. Okay, alright, so that's my inventory situation. I was trying to think of the correct words there. I need to repair that. I can't remember. I think it's 5 I need. Where's my cloth? Oh, there.
Something's gotta go.
Didn't realize. Oh, wow. I got myself quite chilly. Okay, I do need to do something about rabbits at some point. It's- It is the constant bugbear. Having to constantly fix your clothes. Oh, right. It's not the weekend, though. It's Friday, isn't it? I hope it's Friday, otherwise I've sort of lost a day. That will need fixing. That's going to come up on fixing just in time for the bearskin too. And that's still alright. Okay. Oh, look at that. After after 166 days in the game, I finally gotten halfway decent at repairing things.
I might have to drop some gear.
Ah, right. Okay. I was slightly confused for a moment there. As if I'd shown up to work on a Sunday thinking it was Monday or something daft like that. Which I don't think I've ever done, but and as usual, I picked up the absolute smallest piece of meat I possibly could. Yep, isn't that typical? Makes me think that my meat pile is comprised of tiny pieces of scraps. What time of day is it? Oh, it's way too early to be sleeping. Let's see, what else can I conceivably do? Well, that's a lot of sticks. I didn't realize I'd collected so many sticks. That needs fixing eventually. uh, Good morning, Eugene. Don't worry, I didn't do anything unexpected. Like go dashing off collecting firewood from unexpected locations. I started about 9 minutes ago, 8 or 9 minutes, allowing for a 3.5 minute. What do you call it? Oh, yes. The stream will start shortly segment, which is typically 3 minutes. And yeah, I have kind of got that. Yeah, nothing dramatic. I didn't have three bears suddenly decide to descend upon me from unexpected angles. I'm just hoping that whatever glitch occurred yesterday doesn't recur. That would not make me too happy. No, I didn't. Not in the way that you might think. I pretty much adjust on the fly. So if a thumbnail feels like it should be a book layout, I do it. But today, that did not seem appropriate. It felt like I was describing the aftermath of yesterday's events. So that ended up being the way it is now. No protagonist, just the ice, a few bloodstains, and a message. If you look for over the past couple of weeks, you'll see that I don't insist on doing book cover layout. Yesterday I didn't do it for Warframe either. The image I came up with simply did not seem appropriate for a book style, so I left it as a oil painting style. And though the book covers are very useful, especially when I'm trying to, put information on there without obscuring too much. One of the downsides of a title box is it's got to be a certain sort of size, and it's got to fit over a section of the screen, and so that means it covers it up, and it also can be quite obtrusive. With a book style, I have 3 different sections that I can use. So you got the obvious front cover, and you can put a title. The spine, you can put something, and then if I've composed the image with sufficient negative space, I've got room for quotations or text or whatever on the back. And I can't really do that with a traditional style title box. So yeah, it's very useful for the way I like to do things. It looks like an Enya album cover. I will take that as high praise. It certainly conveyed the message I wanted to put across, along with the title. I wanted to reference what happened yesterday without making it I survived, whatever, in traditional sort of style. Okay, we are in a position to get going, and that is in good condition, so I should make sure I'm not carrying. I'm not. I will take a tad more water. I like Enya. I did have one of her albums. Well, she was with Clannad. Was she not? So today, just for something different, we're going to try Eugene's method of getting onto the ice, which is going this way if I Aha, and yes, we do have... Yeah, coming out this way does make me feel uncomfortable. I feel like I haven't got a decent snapshot of events over there. I should hasten to add, too, that just because you don't necessarily like an artist doesn't mean their album covers aren't halfway decent. This is actually kind of what I was hoping to show. This is where the ice remembers came from. I don't remember the Cocteau twins, I don't think. Yeah, okay, so if the weather cooperates, you can see there's 5 left. I think I got the meat from all of them. Ooh, brother, I need to move things along a bit. We're going to have a blizzard, and the very least I can do. Okay, so I'm going to end up warming up in the Misanthrope's homestead. Do you remember what I said about weather permitting? This is precisely what I meant. Ah, right, okay. I don't remember the soundtrack from Gladiator at all. I did watch the movie, but I don't remember the soundtrack.
Place to escape this cold.
I think the kindest thing I can say about the movie is that it was fun.
I'm gonna have to leave something behind.
And it does feature somebody I have quoted quite extensively at the beginning, Marcus Aurelius. Oh, it looked magnificent. It's tempting to think that it captured some of the essence of the Roman Empire of the period without necessarily... There's a deer on the island. Huh. Without the actual historical accuracy. Ah, right. Well, at least we have the opportunity to get warm. And last time I was here, I did raid the place, did I not? Quite extensively. Yeah, looks like I did. Well, may as well take a nap.
Too heavy.
Okay, I think we're good to do. Yeah, I'm going to do a rush to the there. No, I have not. What I'm going to do is...
I can drop any of this gear.
I do want to harvest what I can from these. Oh, come on. Oh, I'm walking directly into the wind, which does not help. Oh, let's pick up our feathers. Okay, what have we got? So... I've got some hide and guts I can take from there. I've got meat I can get from that. Hide and guts. Hide and guts. Meat, hide and guts. Okay, so we do have some farming I can do while I wait to warm up. I could really use you to get just slightly warmer. I'm trying to remember Germanicus. Yeah, I'm thinking of that. I don't want to light a match, but now that I'm aware of the mistake I made last time, matches shouldn't be a huge problem. Well, I almost guaranteed I get the battles wrong. And yes, Eugene, I am going to deploy the Travois. So I can actually dump stuff in it. For some reason, when you say Germanicus, I keep thinking of the somewhat Romanized gentleman who led the army to disaster at the Teutoburg forest. I can't remember his name. Actually, I don't think I need a fire. I'm going to put wood on the fire anyway. Because why not? Oh, I need food. Hang on a second. Let me grab. Yeah, the aftermath of the Teutoburg forest was interesting, if that's the correct word. And I can't remember all the details, but the gentleman who coordinated the whole thing, it seems almost as though him getting the tribes to function together was almost a one-off. He tried to continue that, as I recall, and I think ended up being poisoned. They were not, yeah, overly happy with his attempts. The Romans, of course, went on what basically was a pogrom against the German tribes. And yeah, I know the knife is getting a bit... Oh, so I am thinking of the right person then. Maybe. There we go. Wolves. Poor wolves. Snacks on the fly. Well, it didn't literally become... okay, that's a different person then. Yeah, because the guy who led the Germans at the Teutoburg Forest, yeah, he most definitely didn't end up as emperor. He ended up poisoned by his own people. Right, yeah, no, he ended up dead. Which seems almost unfair, but that's what happened to him. Okay, so we actually managed to collect everything. Just in time, too.
The sun's setting. It's gonna get a lot colder soon.
Oh, I'm glad they got that accurate. Yeah, it is it not? So, with luck, we can start another trade this evening. And this time I will watch out more carefully for matches. And I can probably get the meat gearing box done, which would be nice. I will certainly give that a try. Now, how about that? That was a successful little trip.
Too much stuff to carry.
I'm tempted to say something as if Eugene wasn't actually watching and say something like, Eugene will be so proud of me.
Something's gotta go.
And that was, it has to be said, yes, it does. It does. That sounds completely wrong. That was a successful little day. Otherwise known as a good start. Of course, at this point, I'll probably get socked in by a blizzard for the next 3 days, go mad from cabin fever, and end up being eaten by a Sasquatch. That would actually be kind of amusing, to be honest. Yes. Excuse me. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. We've gone from slowly starving to death to look what we've got now. Who was the Friends actor? Who someone looking exactly like him showed up on a what was it, an armed robbery video. I can't remember the name of the actor. Went on to play um, Captain Strobel in Band of Brothers. David Schwimmer, that's it. Yeah, I know. I didn't watch Friends. I only know about Friends because clips show up all over the place. So I know him most from Band of Brothers. Yep, we have not got an Aurora, it seems. Now, it turns out that, his character in Band of Brothers, and I hope I remember the name right, was actually very much like that. It is reasonable to say that without Strobel's training, Easy Company would not necessarily have ended up as good as they were. Um, but of course he would never get any credit for that. I think he remained in a training um, capacity for the rest of the war, and poor fellow ended up committing suicide after the war, if I recall correctly. Yep, we're not going to get an Aurora tonight. Yeah, the that initial Easy Company's first battle against the artillery position is still, as I understand it, used as a teaching method, among other things, about how to bring an inferior number of soldiers against a superior by going around the side and achieving, I think, what you would call local superiority before moving on. It is considered a classic action. Yeah. And of course, when you bear in mind that the people involved, Winters and the others, you know, they weren't professional soldiers before the war. They were all civilians doing other things. So Winters obviously picked up some very, very useful lessons during his training. Yeah, but no, Band of Brothers was a really good series. It was followed on, of course, by the Pacific, and then the series they did on the Air War. And those latter two, while good, come nowhere near to the quality, I think, of Band of Brothers. Right.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
Yeah, you can play now, Will Mackenzie. Wait until you... Oh. What am I missing? Oh, I'm at the wrong blasted desk, aren't I? I need to stagger my way over to the furniture workbench. There we go. Meat curing box. How about that? Yay! See, this is the weird thing. It says you need 10 kilos of salt, and yet you only use 8. Oh, yeah. That was something and a half.
I need to drop something.
Twenty kilos of potentially. Eugene, I am not about to become a facsimile of yourself. There we go. How about that?
Too heavy.
And this, incidentally, the plethora of wolves is actually why I really ought to get the wolfskin pants blueprint. Not because it's of any huge benefit, but because in principle they're easier to repair. I mean, when you consider how many wolves I've killed, yeah, it's the wolfskin pants are more sustainable long term. Yeah, I actually understand what you're saying, Eugene. Obviously, I'm English, and we are both speaking English, arguably. I've got this, and it's a psychological thing, strangely. Not speaking English, although that's a thing. But for me, and this is psychology, is like I'm home. I will now move into my work area, and that's the thinking I've got behind some of the decisions I make. You're absolutely correct. Ideally, you would place this next to the door, but it's almost like I want to keep this clear because I don't work in here. I don't do anything in here except apparently drop my guts in the bathroom. So, well, turned out nice again. Actually, why did I light this fire here? And really, I want to light this one. Actually, I don't. Yeah, why not?
Come on.
Oh, this isn't going to work. No, yeah, this already failed. Blast. That might not be the wisest thing I've ever done. don't think 2 hours in the cold is going to be a great idea. An hour is acceptable. I do believe, Eugene, it was you who dictated the position of that fire. Hey, Tony. Come on, I've got to be able to put this lot somewhere. I'm pretty certain it.
I might have to drop some gear.
I went to all that trouble, and that's not going to work. Ooh. That does not sound potentially pleasant. Huh, I can't break it down. Why can't I break down the fire? I thought I could. Hmm. Oh, yeah. That wouldn't be pleasant.
Feels like night is coming.
Yeah, I have seen the break down the campfire option. It doesn't seem to want to do it. Start fire, place water. That's it. That's my only options. Nope. Seems pretty adamant about not letting me do that. Cross fingers. I didn't want to use my fur for the fire. I'm very glad I didn't now. Thank goodness for a positive plethora of whetstones. And now I need to be very much on the lookout for any possibility of an aurora. Now, what you want to bet I'm not going to get one for the duration of this live stream. There's probably a line of code that in there that says if this game is being live streamed, then irritate the presenter. Except that there's no. Oh, actually, it could. Technically, it could. It could infer that I am streaming, because if it looked, it would see that one of the output from the video card is going to a capture card. So it could look at that and say, there's a good chance this person's live streaming. But it's the only way it could do it. Oh, yeah, that's the only way it would know. A little unnecessary paranoia there. Well, it's an interesting technical exercise. Yeah. How would they do that? I'm trying to think of the information stream they would have to follow to link up this specific computer to me dissing on the last episode of the live stream of the of Wintermute. And while it may not seem immediately obvious, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a way you could do it. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Just, and I'm granted, I'm thinking back to my days of working with the Windows API and how you could go from this little bit of information to that, to that, to that, to find out this over here. And whatever this piece of information over here is, you can't get it directly, but you can get it by going through a chain. So I wouldn't be surprised if there wasn't a way of doing that. And I happen to notice we have 40 people watching. Hello, 40 people watching. What am I doing? I hate to say it, but if everybody's expecting me to somehow magically replay yesterday's little adventure on the ice, it doesn't look like that's going to happen today. All we had earlier was the aftermath. Yeah, I just noticed. Now, here is something to bear in mind. Some of you may remember, oh grief, those few times when I've had something like 140 or 250 concurrent viewers. Those were almost certainly not real. There's a long, it's not necessarily bots either. It can be all kinds of various systems actually connecting to the stream and then dropping off. So if you see if you are a small streamer like me and you see huge yeah, those big numbers were not because of actual people, but they weren't necessarily because of bots. But they weren't actual human beings. There are apparently ways of telling. If there's absolutely no new interaction in chat, that's a bit of a giveaway. When the numbers get large, I mean, if there are no likes or subscribes from large numbers, then it's probably an artifact of other systems connecting to you. No, that's not the kind of thing we're talking about. It's more of a systems-based thing. The trick, if you want to see whether they were potentially real people, is the watch time hours. If the watch time hours are high, then they're probably real people. So yesterday, for example, I ended up, as the last time I checked, with 51 views, which doesn't sound huge, but that was 54 viewing hours. So there's a very good chance, buried in there are quite a number of people who watched for about an hour on average, more, you know. So I can't tell from now, but I should find out at the end of it. Yeah, if it turns out that my watch hours are through the roof, then yeah, there's probably a lot of real people watching. But it is a known feature with small streamers that they have these bursts, and they'll be pretty much one-offs. They will have these huge bursts in views, and that is, yeah, no, it's I'll call it a systems-related event rather than actual people connecting and watching, but something that small streamers experience. Ah, look at this. This is a thing of beauty. That's 50% cured. I should lay these out a little better. Yeah, I think that's all the victims from yesterday's minor massacre. Right, what am I doing today? Let's see. I have collected all the meat, I've collected all the fur, all the guts, stuffed a bunch of it into meat curing box. I actually do need to get reclaimed wood. That is most emphatically a thing I need to do because I want to make snares. Yeah. What I tend to do these days, for a long time, I just used to put some of my favorite YouTubers on and let them play while I try to sleep. What I do now is I actually put ASMR music on. They've got those AI generated medieval landscapes or whatever. And the music is what you would call neutral, so I tend to stick that on to go to sleep, or to help me sleep. But if I've only picked one that lasts a couple of hours, then it will often switch me to the next one along the line on, yeah, wherever. Although often I end up with Townsend's cooking marathons. If you haven't watched Townsend's, he does 18th century cooking. I mean, that's also sort of reasonable in the background. So that is all my meat to cook, and that is all my meat to cook. And it is freezing cold. Let's see. Oh, look! There's a wolf. I swear that wolf has been stalking me ever since the bear. Mind you, I'm assuming that that one is the one from just further up the hill there. It could just be our regular local, I suppose, but I'm not as familiar with local wolf spawning patterns as I am. I really should light a torch and go after him, but I kind of might get the opportunity in a bit if the weather slightly clears up. I could actually go after him. And it's not because I actually want to kill him. It's because he is a danger. Oh, yes. That's very much a Twitch streamer style of doing things. Excuse me a moment. Actually, it's not just a Twitch streamer. You see, yes, I've seen that. Yeah, you see, I won't say a lot. You do see that quite a bit, where the screen is cluttered and all kinds of things. And yeah, on something like a 1080, a little 1080p screen, that's a lot of stuff to stick in. So, any streamers out there, switch to widescreen, because it gives you a much better canvas to work with. Let's start a new trend. Streaming ultra wide. Because all joking aside, that does give you a huge breakdown. Sorry, I'm not suggesting that anybody have a breakdown. I'm just mildly exulting over the fact that the opportunity to break down the screen came along. Why? Oh, the campfire's right there. Because why can't I go forward? Campfire, yeah. Oh, we have 2 wolves. 3 wolves. And they speed me.
My fingers feel numb.
Okay. Now I have a situation. That is slightly disconcerting. I have not seen 3 wolves simultaneously back there. Now, in principle, they should, if they come round this area, not actually see me in the sense of oh look, there's a human standing in front of his door. They should just wander around the front or around the sides. They don't typically try and attack you in here. I'm under siege again. Alright, let's hop inside and warm up. That is a situation I'm going to have to deal with. There we go. There we go. Now I can sneak out. There we go. Well, there's one of them. There's two. Okay. That is not a fantastic situation to be in. Has this game decided we really need to try and kill Will Mackenzie? Yeah. No. It apparently is not necessary. Oh, there's the third one. Is it possible they are actually from that area? That is, they are, they were on the ice and they came over here. Well, it probably would have smelled it. Hey, Eugene, is it... Is it actually normal for three to be to spawn in over there? Mind you, I haven't spent, to be honest, I haven't spent much time here in Coastal Highway on Interloper. I've sort of passed through, normally at high speed, desperately searching for food. I do not want them in my backyard. I really do not. Here we go. There we go. Well, that is the dinner bell. Yeah, I think we are now entering into false view territory. But again, like I say, we'll see if what the viewing hours look after, because I just noticed that we had 57, 58.
Can't feel my feet.
Okay, we've got one shot at this. Makes you want to be able to jump. Oh, look! 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 We have the moose. Quincy the Quonset moose is here. Ooh, now we have a challenge. I've got 4 wolves and a moose. 3 wolves, sorry. 3 wolves and a moose. I've hunted him here a couple of times, haven't I? But right now I'm getting hypothermia, which is not good. That is a relatively rare sight to those who don't know. Yeah, but I am going to freeze to death. Yeah, that's a relatively rare sight. That's the 3rd time I think I've seen it. And I do want it, but I am going to freeze to death. And I don't have a huge amount of wood. It doesn't always despawn, it has to be said. And I've still got to deal with these blasted wolves as well. Alright, I'm just going to have to go in. Sorry. Sometimes, sometimes they, when you go in like this, yeah, they can despawn. As if the game is saying, right, I've shown you that I've also had that moose not despawn. I've had the moose opposite the camp office in Mystery Lake despawn when you go in, but I've also had it persist. So we shall see. No, he's still there. We have a permanent presence. Quincy's Quonset moose. And of course, if I try and hunt him, I'm going to get eaten by wolves. Which is... Well, like I say, I'm... In the past, when he's been there, I haven't had him despawn. And a mysterious Mr. Quincy. There we go. So here you can see what's happening. This wolf doesn't know I'm here. And all I need now is the other two. Because if I plink him, those other two are going to come after me. So now I have to balance. I have to balance wolves versus moose. And if I go hunting after him, I need to kill him. And I am not hugely familiar with the tactics for him. There was a time you could safely shoot him from the house over there, because he would actually go onto the lake. Except that house doesn't exist anymore. Now, these do tend to follow a pattern. There, here we go. Oh no, he's scared off by something. I don't think it was me, because, like I say, technically, it can't see me here. So I have killed that moose once over there, and once on the lake, as I remember. Come on, climb the car. There we go. What? Why don't you go? Why don't you go and hunt the moose? Hmm? That's a long way for a shot from here. I still want to get rid of the wolves first, before I start experimenting with that. And those wolves are going to be a permanent presence until I get rid of them. Yeah, that's a way too long a shot. Yeah. Let's go have a little look. I was not expecting this today. Oh, don't tell me he despawned. Oh, well, looks like that's... Unless he's hidden by the trees, of course. Otherwise, it looks like that might be the end of that potential encounter, and all I've got to do now is worry about wolves. Oh no, no, he's still there. Can't climb on the car. Come on. There's this. There we go. Yeah, you can see why I kind of want to get rid of those wolves first. Ah, there we go again. Ah, do you know what I might do? Let's just sidle off over here. Oh, no, come on. Come on. There's fresh meat over here. Now, if we can just get the AI to do exactly what it's doing now, that's exactly what we want. It should just come straight in front. Like that. 2 down. So if anybody was doubting my ability to down a wolf with one shot, hopefully that dispels any doubts you might have. All I need now is suitable weather to harvest everything in. Oh, actually, I could start that process. There's no other wolves around. Yeah, I should be okay with this. Oh, boy. Yeah, okay. I can take a hint. The weather has decided that I have had entirely too much luck today,
My head feels thick.
and is therefore going to become inclement. Can't. I will freeze to death. I can't see him. I got no way of taking cover. Nope. That is freezing to death weather. Excuse me. Oh. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, a bit late then. Right, I am actually going to take a quick break. I just realised I've been going for over an hour and a half, and my bladder will therefore demand attention. So I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Stay tuned and we'll see what transpires. And this is your daily morning jump scare as I suddenly reappear on the screen. At least I didn't say boo. Freedom. Oh, you're home? Returning briefly to the subject of, oh, this is one of those, it's actually a blizzard, but we're going to glitch it and make it look like it's not situations. Is it? Oh no, yeah, it's not. So what I need to do, this, ladies and gentlemen, is the bit where I am potentially about to get myself trampled. Where do you typically shoot from, Eugene? Do you literally walk up to him and shoot, or do you sort of attempt a plinking maneuver from here? It is, oh, it's awfully late in the day to be doing this. Because if I hit him and he runs off, yeah, but that's not going to stop him from seeing me, is it? Oh, he sees me, all right. Peekaboo. Yeah, if I do hit him and he runs off, it's going to be nightfall before I get another shot. My best... and I don't think I'm going to get a one-shot kill. I think that's extremely unlikely. Yeah, I'm not used to killing moose in the open, I'll be honest. I normally get... Come on. Come on, come over here. I don't have a good tactic for moose. There used to be a time he would travel between this location and the ice. I have not seen him do that since Voyager, I think. And I really don't want to be trampled. Well, I definitely hit him. Let's be really, 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 really optimistic. Yeah, that is most emphatically not a dead moose, so I don't get to lie to myself that I might have gotten him with one shot. Now there he is. Well, the problem with this location is he can probably get me up from there, can't he? None of which really helps, because this is a heck of a long shot to make. Oh, I know. Yeah, it does. It can take up to 5 hits. Anything less than if you get him in 2 or 3 hits, then you're doing pretty well. Essentially, if I don't kill him now, he resets in the morning, and I have to go through this all over again. And the way things are getting cold here, I'm more or less counting on 2 or 3 shots tops.
Can't feel my hands.
Ah. Ah, I nearly got trampled there. And
It's dusk, so night can't be far behind.
it's always worth checking, but yeah, fair. Yeah, he'll be back over there somewhere at this point. That looks like... almost looks like I could get an aurora. So if he follows pattern, it's probably over there somewhere. And I'm getting cold. Yeah, I'm not going to get him tonight. Yeah, I can't see a darn thing. Well, I can, but
Never felt so cold in my life.
yeah, no, I'm gonna have to do this. Still, for me, that's not bad. I mean, 2 shots at relatively long range, 2 hits. Problem is, I won't get those arrows back. Or I'm not likely to get those arrows back. Okay, so the odd color of the sky was not indicative of anything useful. And it would be awfully nice to have the moose skin satchel, even if it means I'll be a bit colder. Is it me or can I hear wolves? One of my more terrifying moments. Terrifying? Not sure if that's the correct expression. With a moose was Desolation Point. I don't know how many of you remember that on Voyager. Oh, right. Um, and I was returning from an encounter, as I recall, with both a bear and a moose simultaneously. They went away, blizzard kicked in, so I start heading back towards the lighthouse across the bridge that's near the lighthouse. And the first thing I became aware of is this pair of antlers looming through the blizzard. That was kind of amusing. It's not the kind of thing you particularly want to see in the middle of a blizzard. That's a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Yeah, there is Mr. Quincy. And he is, of course, completely unharmed as a result of last night's experience. I've lost 2 arrows. But at least... Oh, and if I go indoors and come out again, I think that would probably reset it as well, so... just want to see how warm it is inside the vehicle. Oh, it's cold enough that I can't do that. And I can't really depend on one shot taking it down. I'd end up using all my arrows. Yeah, it is way too cold for this right now. If I had more firewood, I would cook up those, but I don't have a lot of firewood on me. I could use my fur. I don't want to use my fur. So what we'll do is we'll give it a couple of hours. See whether the weather improves in my favor. Oh, yeah, valid point. I forgot about that. On the other hand, the weather has now... has it improved? And don't tell me now is the time it chose to despawn. Oh yeah, it is cold. Well, let's... I'm doing a quick stick dash, see if I can't harvest the animals. Oh, have I collected all the sticks from here? Yes, I have. Oh, no, he's still there. Oh, this is interesting. Not helpful necessarily, but interesting. Oh, okay. Well, let's see. Eh. This is still going to... What are the chances of a one-shot critical, do we think? course, if he continues like this...
We need to find some place to escape this cold.
Oh, it is still freezing. Oh, oh, there he is. That sounded awfully close. It's a shame I can't see him outside, out of the windows. Because he'll be over there now, or in that lot. I am kind of counting on what am I counting on? I can't remember. Oh yeah, I'm kind of counting on only having to use two or three arrows. So what we'll do is that. That's a good idea. The only problem is, of course, if I'd attempted to run for the tractor, I would have probably get myself trampled. So now we have the same situation. But unfortunately, unlike a bear, it's not going to go off somewhere and bleed out. If memory serves, once you hit them and they die, that's it. It's not a case of, oh, first we'll try and trample you and then we die. At least I don't think so. But no, I mean, I've hit it 3 times, but on 2 separate days, so that doesn't count. So it only counts as once. I think. In fact, I'm pretty certain. Oh, there he is. I'm going to guess and say I am not safe here, huh? Because the temptation is to take a shot. Because if I can get up there, it certainly can. Yeah, it would come round and come up at me from that slope, I think. So I'm going to have to wait for it to go back. And yeah, this house used to be useful. Yeah, I'm not seeing anywhere where I have got a good chance of somehow glitching him. Yeah, this is not ideal, unfortunately. The good news is it's not too cold. Why would I do that? Oh, you poor magnificent creature. And it's warm. Oh. Man, that was... Essentially, I got him in 2 shots.
Come on. That did it.
I might be better advised to simply quarter it.
My fingers feel numb.
Oh, wonderful.
Too cold to think.
Yeah, that went quite well. Even got 2 arrows back.
So cold. Just want to lay down for a bit.
Well, this is not at all what I thought would happen today. I'm very glad I decided that I was going to doesn't matter. I got it all anyway. I wish they'd have a harvest all button. And congratulations, now everybody gets to watch me for a certain amount of time, opening sacks and extracting moose. Don't necessarily recommend harvesting outside in the middle of a blizzard. And now this means at some point I have absolutely got to do a full-blown cooking session. Although, no, technically I don't. I mean, because I can eat this after it's been cooked anyway, so it just somehow feels wrong. Excuse me while I just go dump off my remaining piece of gut here. Well, that would be hilarious if I did all that. I mean, that would mean that Monday starts on a suitable point. Because just in case any of the 77 people watching, apart from the 10 or so that are real people, so just in case there are people watching who might be curious to see the story unfold further, The Long Dark, I stream weekdays
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
at 7 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Yep, I am going to at this rate, I am going to need that. The strange thing is, this wasn't anything near as dramatic as yesterday. This was almost routine. It wasn't a very big moose either. I've had moose that overflowed the travois. I got lucky. Yeah. What can I say? Or what was it Seneca said the other day? Well, I quoted the other day. Luck is what happens when preparation and anticipation meet, or something along those lines. I'd have to go back and actually check. But I don't think Seneca had actually encountered the concept of video games, so the good news is I don't really need to sleep through the night. I just need to, as Eugene says, there's always the possibility of an aurora. And that would get us set up nicely for next week. I don't mind marathon hunts if the hunt is successful and I don't get trampled. Getting trampled... I have not been trampled by a moose since Stalker, I think. Hello. I shouldn't be able to see out, should I? Well, huh. No, it's cloudy. I think that's what you would call cloudy. I don't see stars. I'm not turning a bear into a rug or a bed. Yes, it appears we're not going to get... Oh, well, the red one's the deerskin bed, isn't it? And I need my deerskins. And yes, I was being a little hyperbolic. Oh! Nope. Straight into the teeth of another blizzard. Weather is definitely conspiring against me. I should have got this for food. Well. Oh, I thought... okay. I thought there was a deerskin bed, but I'm not obviously sufficiently au fait to make a judgment. I'm starting to run out of water. I've only got 8 liters left. That's almost starvation rations for water. um I've got 1. 2. I've got 2. And they're not getting turned into a bed anytime soon. I need those for my boots and my trousers. Nope. This is a nope day. Well, I've got some in 2 different fishing huts. But I think I don't know what you're talking about. Oh dear. Okay, that was slightly amusing. That is a huge moose hide. I mean, you could make a coat and a pair of trousers out of that. Yeah, but here's the thing, Eugene. Me stashing water away is actually a relative in cupboards is actually a relatively recent behavior. For most of my experience playing the Long Dark, I've just dumped the stuff on the floor. It was only when you started making suggestions about tidying the place up that I started putting water in drawers or lockers. So it's not been that long. It's only been, oh grief, what? I want to say a few months that I started that habit. Ah, come on, I'm pretty certain I've seen streamers line up their water neatly on the floor. Rather than, oh, we'll stick it on here neatly. And if this blizzard clears up, and if I can get some firewood, I've got a chance at harvesting those. Yeah. Which I'm not going to do in this. So, under the circumstances, I think it is entirely appropriate I start bringing this live stream to a close. Because I have just been eating my fish. Because we've actually reached a logical stopping point. And I've now got to await the blizzard to do its thing. And then we need to do a massive cookout, which means I need fairly substantial amounts of firewood. So that was an unexpected day. I really, really did not expect what transpired. No, actually, I've been eating fish as well. It's just not been large amounts of fish because they've been small, little, scrappy trout type things. But yeah, no, that was very successful. I lost a couple of arrows, but I gained a moose. Which means I'm going to have to probably go to Desolation Point to pick up my arrowheads from there. Which means the potential of another moose. Oh yes, the moose hunt from Desolation Point. Also known as another good way to get yourself trampled. It's much easier with a rifle. So for everybody who doesn't know, I will be streaming. I'll be streaming Warframe this evening. I know that in the past I've started. Yes, but you want the moose, don't you? And actually, you can go past the moose there without going through the mine. I've done it. Takes you straight into the bear, possibly, but still. Where was I? Yeah, so I will be streaming Warframe this evening. It has been a plan to stream Soulframe on Friday evenings, but my current Warframe run is on the Steel Path, and I am inclined to continue that. which is sort of hard level. Yeah, this is very true. There is lovely coal in the mine. It is the weekend, of course, and if you look at my schedule, you'll see that anything I do at the weekend in terms of live streaming is strictly optional. I reserve the right to not do a thing at the weekends. Doesn't always work out that way. There will probably be at least one live stream anyway, but that's not scheduled, it's not guaranteed, and the only way to be sure to get it is, oh yes, bears are easy compared with moose. Are you delaying me, Eugene? What I do tend to do at the weekend is actually work more. I just don't live stream. But actually, there should be another episode of 101 Ways to Die in the Long Dark. That's going to be a short video. And there will be a few Warframe short videos. But probably, yeah, don't count on live streams. Anyway, thank you everybody who was real and who was watching. If you're not real and you're watching, go away. I will actually find out fairly shortly how many of you really were real. I think you should tell me. Hang on, I'll try and find out. Yes, pretty certain. Pretty certain this is not realistic, because right now my analytics are saying 148 views, which is not entirely believable. We'll find out when I'm done. Oh, I think you're real. Think Danny's real. And Tony. Everyone else is up for debate. If you are real, please like and subscribe. Well, yeah, except for those who already are, of course. And now I'm rambling. So anyway, I hope you all have a great day and a very good weekend. Don't forget to hug your fur babies if you get the chance. Don't let them issue unreasonable demands. And unless you happen to see me at the weekend, I will see you all. Well, actually, maybe this weekend. Tony, I'll probably see this weekend. This is not this weekend. I do apologize. Tony has been showing up on Warframe. So I will see you then. And the rest of you, I will see you next time.